about. Woo! You saw it predicted right here, baby. It's all right. It's all right. Whoo! What was it? 29-23. Broncos win in overtime. Hey, you got to admit, people, when we sat down here at the beginning of the year, we start 1-4, that miserable season last year, and here we are, Denver Broncos, going to New England to play Josh and the boys. We did it! Woo-hoo! Loving it. Come on.
This is a grown-up big boy win.
It was a good win. It was a good win all the way around. Everything we talked about this week, the Broncos had to do. They come in and do in this game. I'm talking about Mike McCoy making creative calls in the second quarter. Can you believe it? 20 points in the second quarter. I talk about defense having to create turnovers, about putting pressure, creating action, getting fired up. Did you see Tebow on the sideline? Was that wonderful?
He's got to play with that emotion. That's the X factor that he brings to every team he's played for. And when he doesn't have that emotion, when he's not rah-rah on the sidelines, he's an average quarterback.
Average quarterback, but I got to tell you what, 204 yards. Demaryius Thomas, a breakout party. If you've ever seen one, Eric Decker goes down, DT, on it all day long. Tebow put it on the numbers. I'm not even making sense, people. I know you can say I haven't made sense all year long. We're going to have to roll to Danny while I calm down. We'll come back and we'll break down this game. Danny, brother, how are you doing? Tell me about what's happening out there in the man cave. I know you got to be stressed. How's that throat holding up, buddy?
Save us, Danny. Take it away.
Yeah, keep the chloroseptic and the Tylenol handy. Oh, hey! Well, hey there, Bronco fans. Danny here for Bronco Planet. Huge win, biggest win, the biggest thing to hit Denver Broncos, and for that matter, Bronco Planet here since the invention of the clown car. Oh my God, I can't even tell you how mentally exhausted I am. Physically, I'm feeling pretty good. My cat Pickle, not so much. In my fit of pandemonium, I high-fived the chandelier, I scratched my neighbor's wife on the tummy, and head-butted the cat, so she'll be fine. That's one pissed-off cat and one confused neighbor. You know what I can honestly say, Shad and Chris, is that I feel duped by Mike McCoy. I feel bamboozled, I feel flim-flammed, you know, and here's what happened today. Here's how it all played out. At the end of the first quarter, I'm looking at the Broncos offense thinking, same old stuff. And everybody said this week, oh no, we've learned from our mistakes, look for all this new stuff, great change, exciting things. And for the first quarter of this game, I was just pulling my freaking hair out. And then the first quarter ends. I'm just beside myself, so I pick up the old smartphone using my thumbs. I texted John Elway and just said, hey John, what gives? Anytime a player has a bad performance or poor performance, you can bench him. So why not do that to your offensive coordinator? It wasn't 10 seconds after I hit send, Tebow hits Eddie Royal for a 30-yard touchdown. Bad karma right here. But of course, you know, Shad, I'll be telling all the chicklets down at the Starbucks that it was my text to John Elway via Twitter that started this whole Mike McCoy has seen the light and actually started throwing the ball on first down. I'm gonna take that one. That one's on me. Gonna gobble it up. At any rate, guys, I'm gonna throw it back to you. My throat, absolutely done. My nerves are shot, my shorts soiled. Plus, I have to get busy on a game plan that I can tweet Elway later, you know, so that the team has plenty of time to practice it this week before we go up to New England for round 2 of the playoffs. How exciting is that?
Woo! And hey, it's good to hear from Danny. And Danny, we got some lozenges going your way, man. We got Tylenol, man. It's earned, buddy. It's earned.
I just hope the cat survives. That's more than anything, Danny. I want to make sure that cat makes it through next week.
in here causing trouble for Danny in the man cave. So, all right, so go ahead.
He makes a great point. We've banged on McCoy all year from week 1. But that play is going to be named at some point in Bronco lore. That's going to have a name and whatever we're going to call it. In that one play, your boy McCoy got the better of a Hall of Fame defensive coordinator, Dick LeBeau. You go back and look at that play, they got exactly what they wanted when they shift into the motion and everyone comes to the line of scrimmage. Thomas has one guy to beat, no safeties up high. They got exactly what they wanted in that one play. And the one, you know, I was scared to death in the fourth quarter, that last drive, and Tebow had Demaryius Thomas across the middle and just made a horrible throw. And the one time Tebow needed to have it right on the money, It's history. That one play, they got exactly what they wanted.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about that running back, as Urlacher and the Bears like to call him, or was it Peppers? I don't know which one was popping off. But at the end of the day, everybody knew going into this game the Broncos were going to have to pass their way to victory. If you saw Bronco Planet, you saw my rant earlier in the week. I told you that the corners could not cover the Denver receivers, and when Eric Decker goes out, you know that DT is going to have to step up. And what a great game! Was open, and he's such a great guy. His story about his upbringing. You want this guy to be successful, and when he kept getting hurt, it just was killing me. And the Broncos took him before Dez Bryant, and you see Dez Bryant at times having a big year, and you just wanted something magical to happen to Demaryius Thomas. I couldn't be more happy. And how about Tim Tebow jumping into the stands, fired up on the sideline? Just I think the quarterback's coach is just trying to talk to him. He's just in his own zone.
The way he has to play. That was everything we talked about from last Sunday's show through this week. You had to turn over Pittsburgh, which they did. The defense, and I think we agreed with. There were both times in the second half where you start to think, "Wow, what a great run." It's not going to hold up. When Champ doesn't make the interception, when McGahee puts the ball on the ground, and you start to think. And that's a character win. There was some adversity there in the second half, and to come back and end that thing in overtime was as good a win since the Super Bowl.
Yeah, here's the funny thing for me, all right? So I'm down there. The fans down there were absolutely great today. You saw the 12th man help the Broncos. Woody Page slamming on the Bronco fans against the Chiefs, not into the game, and that's because McCoy wouldn't let him get in the game.
Well, yeah.
But he opens it up. Tebow gets fired up. That crowd really helpful. But here's the funny thing. We're down there before the game, and every single fan has got this belief that, hey, we can do this thing. Did they all understand we could get killed? Absolutely. Sure. But there was this sense of security, it just felt like something's going to happen. And I mean, I'm going to the gesture, the going to the Bronconator, going to Donna, all these great tailgaters that we've hung out with all season. Every single one after another, are just sitting there. They knew that this could happen. You believed that it could happen. And like you said, what was that, a heart attack second half? 3 points. We have that big lead, and you just know we're not going to. It's just not our game. First of all, we're rarely in the lead, and then that conservative play calling, and I thought for sure. We don't go for the 58-yard Prater field goal again. I'm thinking, hey, we don't even have to be in overtime. If he lets Prater kick it, we don't have to get there. Champ Bailey, of all people, drops an interception.
But comes back on that final possession to make a great play on that ball up the near sideline.
And that's what Hall of Famers do. If he didn't get it then, but he came back.
Right.
And then the missed calls again. The lateral backwards, the pass backwards, and they blows a whistle. I mean, come on. And then another missed face
You feel
mask.
there, if they turn that ball over, and even a field goal there gets that momentum going, and you wonder what Pittsburgh does. You wonder if they start to kind of believe themselves that it's not meant to be, but just a horrific officiated game.
Yeah, so Broncos overcome all of that, the adversity. You go against a 12-4 Steelers team. Everybody, and I mean every expert in the NFL, Vegas, everybody bet against these Denver Broncos, and that's when Tebow does his best. That's when the Bronco fans rally. They smell blood in the water. Yeah. Seeing Big John excited on the, I can't even put it all together, Chris.
It's embarrassing. We actually lost the house.
You did?
On this game. So I meant to talk to you after if we could maybe just sleep.
No, that's your fault because you should have gone. I think the odds of the Broncos going to the Super Bowl 1 to 320 or something. I mean, that's big money for those that had the guts to make that bet. But anyway, hey, we're enjoying it. Now we got to go see Josh McDaniels and the Goofballs in New England. We had one good half against New England, and so
game plan's got to be the same.
Yes,
you're going to have to score you're facing a better offense and you're facing a worse defense in New England. Brady's going to put up points.
Yeah,
and the game plan's got to be the same. We can't come out and run the ball through 3 quarters and think that we're going to save it in the 4th quarter. I think the game plan has to be very similar. Ball's got to be up in the air, and the key, I think, Shad, becomes who is it? Is it Matt Willis? Who is it that steps up into that role that Eric Decker? You look at that, and I think we all agree that the chances of Decker playing are slim.
Well, let's talk real quick about some of those that stepped up. Eddie Royal comes in, makes a great touchdown reception. Matt Willis had a terrible day, really. He got called on a penalty. He should have been called on 2 penalties. Had a little holding earlier. He's running the ball out of the end zone, dropped a potential touchdown. Matt Willis has got to step up because it looks like our guy Eric Decker is going to be out. And how about Robert Ayers with a couple sacks? sacks. I mean, unbelievable. You had Doomerville with the sack. I think Bunkley had a sack, and you had Von Miller with the sack. So 5 sacks. Sure, this isn't the normal bend that you would face, but that magic continues to happen. Here, the Steelers' #1 defensive back can't play because of this blood thing, and you got the running back hurt last week. There's some moving on up above that's happening to help. Maybe he returned. He tried to see if the Broncos could do it on their own.
Maybe he's the guy that has the Broncos at
sure
odds of 320 to 1.
Well, I got to tell you,
maybe he's holding the ticket.
He may have it, and he deserves that.
Maybe
win.
he can get me back into my house after I lost it.
So, hey, we're going to be back midweek. We're going to talk about New England. We're going to give away 1 second. I'm bailing out of the scene here. We got an Eric Decker thing for Bill Sports Collectible. Eric's out. Hopefully, we get him back in time for some playoff action. Looks very doubtful at this point, but autograph from Bill Sports Collectibles. We're going to raffle this off on our Thursday show. And hey, Bronco fans, this is why we play this game. It's just been so long since we've been in the playoffs. It comes against the hated Steelers. The terrible towels are being wiped as we speak, and Denver victorious.
You know, the great thing, you get on online, start reading about the game, and just bitter Pittsburgh fans. You know, you're going to get crushed next week. You know what? We're still playing. Yeah. Steeler fan, and enjoy watching it next week.
Exactly. And one other kudos. Quentin Carter gets a big interception, had a nice hard hit, playing good. You see Bush out there playing defense. David Bruton, they pieced together without Dawkins, have done a good job. Raheem Moore, I don't even think if he's suited. I don't know what happened there. But hey, Broncos victorious. Celebrate, all you Bronco fans. Bronco Plant, we love you. Thanks for following us on Facebook, YouTube. It's been a heck of a season.
Somebody help me.
Woo! I am partying all night long right here, Bronco fans.